What's up, guys? So, just quick little intro. First off, I want to apologize for my voice. I'm coming down with something, and second, I want to apologize for missing some information in the video in the latter part of it. My camera, my phone that I was filming with, it ran out of space at about the 45-minute mark or the 50-minute mark. I can't quite remember, but it ran out of space, and I thought it was only about 50 seconds worth of time before I was able to make more space, but it was a lot more than that apparently. So we missed some really good information when it came to medicating coyotes that we catch for the live market, and some other little stuff. But still, we got a solid 45 to 50 minutes of really great trapping information from Mr. Bobby Faris. Um, this is Southern coyote trapping. This is live market coyote trapping, and it's just really, really good information. So, I'm not going to cut it up in parts. I do apologize, but I just don't feel like it's necessary. I feel most people can watch a trapping DVD that's 2 hours long, and they can figure out where to start and stop, and figure out you can do it for free on YouTube. So, yeah, it's a longer demo. I tried to make sure I filmed everything really good. I'm not the best filmmaker, as you guys can tell, but I got his permission to post it. My channel is not monetized, so I'm not making money off of him. I'm not asking for money, but yeah, really great demo. Mainly talking about using a post set variation and then how he varies it. Lots of questions were being asked. He answered every one of them. He's a wonderful guy, and yeah, I hope you guys really enjoy it. Make sure to leave a like or a comment because I would really like to get back in contact with him and be like, hey man, everybody on YouTube really loved your thing. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy it. By the time I get this one up, hopefully should have the Otter and Beaver demo by Mr. Mark Connor up. So hopefully it should be up by today, and hopefully the other one should be up too. So y'all take it easy. Remember to like, comment, subscribe to see more stuff like this. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Appreciate y'all coming. Appreciate y'all coming. My name's Bobby Faris. I've been cow trapping, I guess, for over 30 years now, since 1990. I started, they had a pen, a live market pen put in by the house back around 1990, and they were looking for coyote trappers, paying $50 a coyote. Well, pretty good money back then, if you could catch them. But I was a coon trapper. I trapped more coon than anything. Fox, back in the late 70s and 80s. You could make a pretty good living back then trapping coon. But I decided to trap coyotes, started trapping coyotes. I said, they shouldn't be too hard. Boy, did I learn something. But I started out with a number 2 double spring trap, long spring, and I had to figure out a way to not cut their feet because the pen owners don't want cut feet. So I wrapped the jaws with a black electrical tape. Wrapped the jaws with electrical tape to keep them from cutting their feet. And caught several. Sold them, made a little money, and then I got up to then I went to a number 3 Victor soft catch. Tried those. And just I had problems with them, so I kind of got away from them. Then I went to a Bridger number 2, eliminated the jaws, and they did a good job. And then this one here came out, and that's what I stuck with. It's an MB 550. Most of y'all know what this is. Y'all coyote trap, and that's the one I went with. I modified it a little bit. I cut the springs off, and I put that's a JC Connor chop spring. So when he pulls, it has some give to it. And to me, you can't get, you got to have swivels, plenty of swivels, where it won't get fouled up. If you don't cut them springs off, they'll get hung in that chain, and it'll get tangled up. So I cut my springs off. And, but that's a trap, pretty good trap until something else comes along. So that's what I use. And I think they're working on some, and there's some other good traps out there. It don't matter what you use. If it works for you, you know, use whatever works for you. It works for me. It's not the perfect trap. It's a little rough on fox, but it does a pretty good job on the coyote. I'll tell you a little secret about these traps. When you trapping, catching coyotes and stuff, if you'll keep these jaws slick, keep them jaws, I always keep some sandpaper with me, and I'll take and slick them jaws up and keep them slick. Because if that dirt gets in there and builds up off of blood or anything, it's like sandpaper on their foot when they work in that trap, you know, pulling. So keep them jaws slick, clean, and you'll have a lot better luck.
So do you like
this? I didn't say earlier. This was going to be on the live market, but I didn't tell Clint when he called me. But it's a live market.
What grit sandpaper you use?
It don't matter. So fine or just anything. Sometimes I'll take my trapping hammer and just clean it good. But just anything to keep it clean, because it will get when they call. And I speed dip them. All this trap it's been speed dipped and hung and dried. I probably have about 100 I run sometimes when I'm really going, but I don't hardly set that many anymore. But some of them will get stolen every once in a while.
So you said speed dip. What
Yeah,
do you
speed
use
dip.
With what?
I mix mine with Coleman fuel, lantern fuel.
So you don't worry about the smell.
Just hang them up, let them dry. I wear gloves. I got gloves and stuff I wear, but once you hang them up and let them dry, and this is just a Berkshire stake swivel. And I have drags too. I run drags on them. If I'm trapping on the road and I want to get them off the road, I drag them too. But most of the places I trap is behind lock gates, private. But I trap some WMAs too. And sometimes you want to get them off the road, so I do drag them. But this is real simple to get them up. But it's about the live market and stuff, and I'll show you. This is just an old homemade catch pole I use to get them out. It's been chewed up pretty bad. The cable, it's just something I make. It's just got a PVC pipe with a cable, coated cable. It works good, but this one here is another one that I use. It's tongs for getting them out of the dog box. I had this welded at a welding shop. They weld it, and it's just a device that it opens and closes. Especially you catch one, he gets up in the dog box, he buries his head up in there, and he don't want to come out. Steve, you know what I'm talking about. Well, you've got to have these to get down there, and because that cable won't go over his head, he'll take his head and push it right up against that dog box. Can't get him out hardly. It's hard to get. With these, you can slip up in there and get around his neck and clamp him and pull him out of the dog box. So that's what I use. But they got some other ones on the market that does a good job. The ones that it's about $100. It's got the cable and it locks. It's the best one. So let's see here. I was going to show you several sets today. It's about coyote live market, but still, no matter what, you still got to be able to catch them. The one I was going to show you is I brought some grass with me. I'm going to show you most of you guys, coyote trappers here, y'all know what I'm probably going to do. It's going to be a post set, but I'm going to I'll turn it into several different type of sets. And a lot of times, and I really learned this set from an old, I knew about it for a long time, but it was an old state trapper a long time ago. A friend of mine rode with him. and they was catching coyotes, and he was just gutting them, killing them and gutting them, and taking the intestines and all and bagging them and sending them off and having them tested. And this friend of mine, he rode with him for about a week, said he caught 27, 28 coyotes. And all he would do, just trap the roads, and he couldn't, if he didn't find a suitable place for to make a set like this, he would take and dig it up, a clump of grass. All this is broom sage, osage grass, broom sage. He would dig it up, and he would bring it out to the edge of the road and set it, and all he would do is put some urine on it. Just coyote urine, that's it. And he said he tore the coyotes up. He said he couldn't find a spot, he'd just transplant it. So that's really where I learned, but I kind of modified it a little bit. I used a little more than urine and stuff. But all you want to do is just take and plant it, get it in the ground. Ooh, this ground's rough. Where's them boys at? There they are over there. You just want to always turn it where I can get a halfway decent side. I'll get right there. Pull some of that off. And just take and come back in there and backfill it. But you want to clean it off where it's clean. Try to blend it in best you can. I usually set these where it's where you can blend them pretty good. But this will be a good place to show you. And I've had these things, I've done this for a long time, and I've had them to grow over years. They'll, believe it or not, they'll grow in that same spot. And you can go back there and set at them the next year. I'll tell you another little secret. In the summertime or right before you're going to start trapping, what I do a lot, I take and go plant these where I'm going to be trapping, and I'll take and start putting urine on them. Every week, every 2 weeks, I'll go by there, go through there, and put urine on them. Just plain old urine, or fox, red fox is good, or coyote urine, or bobcat. What happens, and coyotes, they get used to coming by here, and they'll, just like a dog, they'll come in here and they'll start peeing on this. And most of the time, you'll see where they're stepping. They'll be stepping right there, and it'll show you where to put that trap. So that's a little secret that I learned to during the summertime. I brought some dirt with me because I didn't know how bad this dirt was going to be. Can everybody see? Ooh. And you just pull it down until you'll hear it click, and it's a night latch on it. Positive pan. There it is. It sets level. You want your pan and all to be nice and level. Okay, let me get around here on this side. That looks pretty straight. Okay, on mine, a lot of the guys, they'll all set them and stuff, but I don't. I take and I put mine like right here. Ooh, that ground's rough. Oh, if I can get that in the ground.
Should have had them boys pre-dig that hole for you.
Well, they wanted to. I should have.
Where's your Maddox?
Huh?
Where's your Maddox?
My Maddox?
Yeah.
I don't have any on it, yes. And I got some good dirt there. It takes a little bit to chip this out, but I'm gonna leave that trap set. I've got several. I'll show you. About right there's where I put mine. All right. Let's see. Let's put it. I brought some sand with me. I didn't know how bad this ground was, and it's pretty bad. All right. A lot of you guys put your all that right underneath it. I'm gonna show you how I do it.
Thanks. Wink.
That's where mine goes, right there. I'm not gonna drive that in because it's just no point. It's just too hard to get out. You gotta make sure, and it's solid. You gotta make sure it's good and solid. I'm gonna leave it like that. I will put a pan cover on it. This is wax paper, just wax. Crumble it up where it don't wrinkle. If you use polyfield or screen or whatever you want to use, it's whatever works for you. Use it. But I just use, I like wax paper. Make sure it don't move. That's important. Make sure it's tight good. It's in the ground good and it don't move, it's solid. Cause you don't want that coyote stepping on a loose trap and moving because it has a tendency to scratch and he's curious. Okay. That's part of it right there. Any questions?
Do you worry very much about your tongue?
No, these are already preset. I was going to tell you, I always put my dog to the hole or whatever your attractant is. If you turn it around where the dog is this way, if he does happen to step on the trigger and the dog, a lot of times you'll get a toe catch. When that trap fires, when that dog comes up, it'll throw that foot up and you'll get a toe catch. You don't really want a toe catch when you're live market trapping. Well, it happens. You can't do nothing about it, but you want a good solid across the pad. On this set here, it's just a post set, but I try to make these where I can blend them in real good. On this one here, I'm going to show you several what I do. I'm not going to cover it. I'm going to leave this trap uncovered like that where you can see the placement and stuff, and then I'll cover it a little bit later on. And I'll get to this because I do this for a reason, why I put mine out front like this. But on mine, I got a rod. Well, I got another one here too I use. And I put that right there. Right at the base of it, just like that. That's where my lure goes. Put my lure right there. And that's all, and right above it, that's where I put my urine. Fox, coyote, don't matter. Bobcat, put it right on top. That's pretty much it. He'll come in. These sets are deadly. On coyotes, they're deadly. Fox. Got any bobcat trappers here? Anybody like to trap bobcat?
Yeah.
Okay, they deadly on bobcat too. I brought something to show you. I know this is a coyote demo, but I'll show you real quick what you could do. Catch bobcat, if you want to catch bobcat. Take a little, just a ribbon. What I would do, I would take and just tie it around that. I'm not going to tie it, but I'd wrap it around that limb right there. Just eye appeal. Cats love red. They like red. See how that's hanging over that trap right there? You see how the wind's blowing it? Coyotes attract bobcat.
You don't carry the other species with the red ball?
No, I would do this for a bobcat. It's a bobcat set.
Okay, so you now the trap is selective for bobcat only.
Pretty much.
The other one walk away because there is the ribbon.
Not necessarily.
Good. That
Not
was my
necessarily.
question.
You could take and put some lure right here on the tip of this.
Yeah.
A little lure right there. But what I would do for a bobcat, I would still do it the same way, but I would smear me some bobcat lure, real skunky bobcat lure right here. Because them cats, they like to come in and face rub. They'll rub their face. And it's kind of like a walkthrough when he comes through here. He'll want to rub on that. Real skunky type lure, bobcat lure. And catch a bobcat. Most of the time I don't even use the ribbon on it. You can catch cats. And a lot of people think a cat don't have a good, their nose is not real good. Hey, that's not true. Let me tell you, a cat's got a better nose than what you think. Because I set these sets right here, and that's all I do to it. And he's coming, and of course I put it out there close to the road, but let me tell you, catch a lot of cats with these sets. And it's no eye appeal at all. He's having to smell that set, so he's coming to it. Any questions?
Yeah, your urine, you squirt it in one spot, or you?
Yeah. I squirt it in one spot, Wes. I put it right up there on top, and I put my gland lure. I usually use gland lure. I like gland lure on these for coyote. Just urine and just gland lure. But a bobcat, I would smear it like right up in there. I'd use some type of real skunky type because the cats like skunky, and they want a face rub. They'll face rub, and they'll walk through there. I mean, it's deadly on them.
So how do you usually set your grass clump in conjunction with the wind? Does it really matter, or is it just because it's a focal point now?
Guys up in way up in the north states, they have to worry about wind. I don't. I sit out there right next to the road, as close to it as I can sit. When I drive up in my truck, I look out my window, and if I can see my set, if it ain't nothing in it or ain't been messed with, I just go on down the road to the next one. Because the animals, the coyotes and stuff, are coming down that road.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming down the road. So if I was in North Dakota or Kansas, somewhere way up north, yeah, you'd have to worry about that wind. But down here, they're going up and down these roads.
So you just plug them in a good place and put your trap in front of the hole.
Location. It don't matter how good you can set a trap. If you don't put that thing in a good location where he's coming and going, you're wasting your time.
Okay,
He may find it sooner or later, but your chance is a whole lot better putting it where. I like to put them where there's crossroads. If there's a crossroad coming in there, anywhere there's an intersection like that road tees into another road, you can look for me to set one or two. Sometimes I'll put three right there if it's a lot of sign.
Mm-hmm.
Power lines where they cross roads. Just location, good location.
Okay, so when you say you put some of these out pre-season, right?
I do.
With the ones you put out pre-season, you already see where they're kind of stepping. Do you even worry about lure anymore since they're already coming there, or do you
I
just?
still lure them. I still.
Okay, so you don't just kind of blind set them in because they're already
No.
coming. You just okay.
Which I have found some natural ones before, where they just using them natural.
Mm-hmm.
And when I find that, I don't do nothing to it.
You just slip a trap in
Slip
up
a
under
trap
it.
in there, right? You find where he's stepping real good, and you slip a trap in there, and you can catch it. I'm telling you. Go ahead.
What kind of guides do you use?
I don't.
No guide? And you don't make a walk through?
I don't. I do it just like that, and I'll cover it. Cover it. There's no problem. I don't have no problem with. Hey, if you want to put a clump over there, there, or right there, and something there like that. Hey, I just don't do it because I found if a coyote or whatever animal you're trapping, if he's interested in that attractant, that lure and bait or whatever you got in that hole, he'll pat this whole place down and scratching to get to it. You just don't. I don't use them. I don't have no problem with it. I don't use it because I use good lure, good bait, good urine, and they'll scratch and they'll stay right here in front. And it's kind of like it. I guess you could call it. It's kind of like a walk through. But a coyote, most of the time, he's not going to come straight in. He's going to come in on the side. He'll come in on this side or over here on this side. Very seldom you'll see where one comes straight into it. He'll come in on the side. And of course you'll get some by the hind foot too, because he's trying to, pee on that.
When you go to set if there's no tracks there, how far do you like to get away from your?
That set there is probably about a foot to the center of the pan from that attractant to about a foot. I don't measure it. I've done it so long that I know when I set one, that's where I put it.
Do you always just use one trap, or you ever tried doing like two traps on drags?
I've had problem coyotes. I've set 3 and 4. I've had them go behind it. Just all over I've set them. It looked like a landmine around here. I'm not ashamed to tell you, if I'm trying to catch one, I'll do whatever it takes to get him. But the reason you brought that up, that's good. Why I stake it down out here?
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead and show you. I can move. If I've got a coyote that's giving me problems and scratching my trap up and just giving me problems, if that all was buried under that trap there, I wouldn't have no room to move. Okay, I'll move it for you. With it pinned down right here, if that coyote is coming in over here scratching, or if he's coming over here, look here what I can do. I can pull this trap up and it'll go right there. There, I can put that trap right there, out there, if I need to, and catch him. Or if he's coming in on this side, I can move that trap over here, out. And I've caught a many one of them like this. They're coming up here scratching, and they thinking that trap is right there. I'll go back and fix everything just like it is. But being it's pinned down right here, I can move that trap on out. If it was pinned down back here, I couldn't get very far with it. So that's why I do mine like that. It's for the smart coyote. I can move it over here on this side, because a lot of times you may have to put one over there. I've had them come in behind it. You may have to put one back there. I pulled up there before and have a trap on just about every foot. On the back foot, but I'd have him caught. Hey, you got to do what you got to do,
You ever set them up to try and purposely catch doubles off of them?
I have caught some doubles. Very few. Never caught a triple, but I have caught doubles. I'm going to put that back in there because I'm going to leave that there.
So about how many catches do you usually get out of one of them before you need to replace it?
Man, you can just catch over and over. You'll have a catch circle right here. All I do is brush it down, and I'll go right back. And this grass won't be here. He'll have it knocked down.
Yeah, that's what I was
It'll look
wondering.
like where a helicopter landed.
So about every catch you got to put a new clump in.
Well, or bring this one back, or take and do something different. I'll show you some a different set I'll make. I'm gonna lay that back like that right there and show you the trap placement on it.
About
Okay.
how? Oh, my bad.
Go ahead.
About how weather resistant you say this is for like rain and compared to like a dirt hole or a regular flat set.
Well, this is a pretty much a flat set. It's just like any other, rain. That's something that the trapper has to deal with. I'll use a lot of peat moss. Peat moss mixed with sand. If you got some good sand, it's the best. You can sand it.
Peat moss
hold up
mixed
good.
with it.
Huh?
Is that peat moss mixed with sand?
Peat moss mixed with a sandy mixture. It works really good. Let me see that right there. Okay, that's one set there with it. This is a hole punch. Now you want to turn this into a kind of a dirt hole. Okay. You see that? There's your dirt hole. That's another one. If you don't want to do it like a post set, you can put you some bait in there, right above it. Put you some lure, and you put urine on it.
You usually like the smaller holes, or do you like to blow them out sometimes?
Let me see that drill over there. I'll use. I got a drill too that with an auger for my big dirt holes. But for this right here, it works good too. You put some good bait and lure and urine in there. But I do use that too a lot.
What you like for drills? Like what drills last longer for you on the trap line? You just get whatever's cheapest and it'll work with a good warranty,
you get what
or
you pay for. You want to use good stuff. I've been using them D-Walls for a while. I wore quite a few of them out. They'll break after a while.
I found out the XR models are the better.
Yeah, that might be
They last a lot longer.
yeah. I use a D-Wall.
is that just a regular or is that a hammer?
It's a half inch. See, it's already getting loose. It's loose, but it'll crack and bust after a while. None of them hold up. But this one's held up a pretty good while.
Is that just a regular drill, or is that a hammer drill too?
No, it's a regular drill.
Okay.
Just a regular half inch.
It gets the red clay pretty good.
No.
Or? That's what I was wondering.
Nothing gets red clay. That's what's here. That's why I brought that sand.
That's all I got.
No, if I pull up and there's a red clay spot, I try to find me another location.
Ooh,
I'll pass that up unless it's a super good spot. I don't like clay.
Don't come to South Mississippi. You ain't gonna like it.
Yeah, I know what I feel for you guys that trapping that. I was up on the Red River a few years ago. I had never seen the like of the ground. It was terrible.
They don't pull stakes easy though. That's a benefit.
Yeah, it's terrible up there. But that's two sets right there. You can do a dirt hole and urine and lure.
So
Is there a reason you choose a dirt hole over a flat set or at these locations?
Hey, I tell you what, a good flat set is just as good as any dirt hole. Everybody knows about dirt holes, but them flat sets, they're deadly on coyote.
So how do you feel about the height of your grass clump? Do you feel that, I know some people say that coyotes don't like none high.
Most of the time, I'll take it, like right here, I'll take and break that off, bend it over, break it off. But it don't really matter on that. My thought is, because they see grass, they get grass all the time, and they got places they mark, so that don't.
Because I know some people say coyotes don't like none they can't see over, so.
I've run into that before.
Some of them just don't.
Don't set them up in bushes and stuff out there where I've seen them. They just pat the ground all around it, and they don't want to go in there. I guess they're afraid something will get them or something. But they're shy. They like to be out where they can see, and over and around it they do. I find that's the best. But that's one. That's two sets there. Any questions?
So, do you think that the cars would notice anything different about the bush?
No. He pees on bushes all day long. It's just They are smart. I guess that's when I started trapping them. I learned that, man, you can learn something from a coyote. That's what made it a challenge. They just love trapping them things.
Let's say you got your set right there. You gonna put another set somewhere else?
I would.
Different? Huh?
I would if the sign was here.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I would do, I would set this like this, and then I would make a dirt hole over across the road with my drill. What I would do usually, I do the first set that I showed you, I do it, and then across the road or somewhere close, I would do a dirt hole. And I always change the lure and bait. I never use the same. If I go down the road half a mile or so, I change lure, I change bait, change it. I don't want to repeat, because you get them used to smelling the same stuff, so you want to change. But always pick a good location. I can't, and put your trap in the ground solid.
You ever tried just smearing bait or something just in the grass clump and not do a hole?
Yep, I have. That's what I was telling you about that cat set. You can just smear some on that grass right there, and that cat will come in and want to rub on it. You don't have to put it in the hole. Just put it on that, smear it on that grass, because he wants to rub his face on it, his face rub, and that's what'll get him in trouble when he comes through there trying to rub on it. He's right there.
You ever had like coyotes trying like where your lure and do the same deal, where they try and come in from the side and rub on it?
Yeah. And another thing, if you take, and I didn't mention it, but if you use too much lure, they want to roll.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to use too much. You want to use just enough to get them there to work it. But if you over lure it, which a lot of used to doing sometimes, they'll roll, especially a gray fox.
Oh yeah.
A gray fox will come in here. A lot of times your trap will be throwed and you pull it out of that trap bed. Well, what's happened? He's rolled and it's caught him on the side. He's rolled and it's caught him, because they want to roll.
Oh yeah, I raised one, and man, that thing. Anytime if it was by a tree, oh he'll go up on it. He'll try and put it on his neck every time like a cat.
Rub on it and stuff, but that's a couple sets there. Another thing you could do, I have done, you can take and turn this thing upside down like this right here. Just like that. Get your clump of grass, and turn it over just like that, make you a flat set. You don't have to have the grass on it. You can just get you go out there and dig up your clump of dirt and pile in here.
That would help making working from the correct side laid over like that too.
Yeah, you can do it like that, lay it over. Let me fill this up just a little bit and I'll show you. Do it like that right there, see? Okay, this is another set for you to look at. And on this one here, you can put your hole right there again, right at the bottom. Put your urine up here. Just put you a squirt of urine, put your lure right there. Or if you want to take that punch, dig out you a punch hole right there.
You ever tried doing like the kind of buried sets where you would just put like a chunk of beaver or something under there and put it on top of it?
I never have.
Never have?
No, I never. I don't see why it wouldn't work. But I do these sets a lot. Without the grass, I usually just dig up a clump and set. Any questions?
How is it on possum?
Possums love it.
Goes too.
Yeah, you ever watch this type of bait and lure you using? You'll catch possums too. Catch coons, possums, whatever works. Especially you'll catch a lot of coons during mating season. If you're using a lot of gland lure, you'll catch a lot of coons. But that's another set right there.
Do you catch less possums if you use Urine only?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You could just use urine on it. But to me, multiple scents, you know, multiple scents catch a lot more. Yeah, yeah, multiple scents. The more you keep him, the longer you keep him here, better off you are. So if you got gland lure, urine, or bait and stuff like that, out of them, he's gonna get caught, or he should. Every once in a while you'll miss one, but not, you know, you shouldn't miss too many. It should.
Do you use any just plain old set hook?
Yeah, just like this here. I've just,
Dry stick in the grain?
yeah, yeah. You could, yeah. I didn't bring none with me, but you could just get you some sticks, and just drive in, and just put urine on it.
With the stick, how do you kind of keep them where you want them going? With that, it seems you can kind of control them a little more. But
yeah, you need to have some back in there,
yeah.
or he won't go around behind. You want him to work the front.
so when you're doing your holes, you like a deeper hole, or are you seeing it don't matter too much?
For the
Just when you're doing holes in general, just.
My dirt holes, I like it pretty deep. Not so deep. I don't want him to walk up there and just be able to scratch it out,
Yeah.
the bait. I want him to stay there and have to dig for it, work for it. But let me see that piper. I'll show you another one I hadn't used in a while. Yeah, this is a good set too. It's not real good with the rain, but this is just a rain. It'll fill up your hole. Okay, I'm gonna leave that trap there where you can see it. And I usually put these in sand or somewhere that you can blend it in real good. What I'll do, I'll take come about right here. I'll put me a hole. Probably deeper, a little deeper than that. I'm gonna come right here and put me one. Right there. All right, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come right here and put me one. You can catch some spark coyotes like this on this set right here.
I like that set.
Okay, this is another variation of a flat set. What you want to do on this one, what I would do, I hadn't used it in a long time, but I do use it, but the rain, it will fill your hose, you know, but if you're doing it during, you know, when it's not raining, but okay, on this set right here, what I would do, I use 3 different types of bait. I put a different bait in every hole. Give me that wool out there. And I forgot to tell you, I do use a lot of sheep's wool too. This is just plain old sheep's wool. And what I would do, I'd put that bait in there, and then I put my wool in there just like that. And then what I do, on top of that wool, I'll give it a drop or two of lure. I put lure on each one of these, just a drop or two. So you'll have a different lure, different bait, or if you want to switch up and use urine on some of them, you could just use urine. But I use a different bait in every one of them. And what happens, he's going to come in here and he's going to step right there. If he's working this one or this one, he's around in it, he's going to step right there. It's good. It's good. Yeah, it's good for if you know, smart, educated coyotes. that's a good set too. Any questions?
What do you like for bait? As far as, do you like a fresh bait, a rotted bait? You like a...
I like whatever the coyotes like.
What have you... anything in particular?
Tainted beaver's good. Cat meat, it's, you know, but I mostly buy mine. It's just commercial bait already made.
But do you like lean towards something every now, kind of more on the side of something that's really funky, like the Hiawatha Valley, or do you
Yeah.
like something that's more on the...
Yeah, I use a lot of that. It's good bait. I would use that in one hole, and then, like, you know, a lure, and then some, you know, just a different, whatever. What you got to do is just try different baits and lures
Until you
Once
see what
find
works.
3 or 4 that's working real good, hey, that's all you need. That'll take care of it.
What's your favorite bait?
My favorite?
Favorite?
Child's favorite?
Like, which one works the best for the coyote?
Different time of the year.
What about
See, like
something
this time of the year, they're transitioning to a fruit diet. They go into a fruit. They're tough to catch right now with just a regular bait. You can catch them, but they're going to a fruit diet. Persimmons, musky dime, grapes, berries. But during the winter, they're on a meat diet. Beaver, tainted beaver is good. Hiawatha Valley from Minnesota trap line. I'd use another one. He's got it's Minnesota Predator Plus. It's good. There's another one. Apple Road is good. Y'all ever used any Apple Road? Apple Road is good. Horse meat. Yeah, that's what it's named. He's got bobcat too. Yeah, bobcat. You just gotta try different ones and see what they're working on. That's a lot of that stuff I throw through the woods. I've tried it, and they just caught me. I didn't have no luck. I throwed it through the woods.
So you always just try it out on trap line, or you just ever just go out, just punch in mock sets and just
Make test holes sometimes.
put in cameras or something, or?
No, if he scratches it out, I know he likes it. But I'll use it on the trap line when I'm trapping, but a lot of times I'll go out and make just some test holes and stuff. Well, that must not be his side-by-side. State's paid for that. We paid for it. Dang. Well, he's rough.
He's way more interested in you.
I'm glad we off the road part, huh? My goodness.
We'll say though, everybody looked up when the game won.
Anybody got any game?
He's a state employee, they can do that.
They want to run.
Yes, sir.
He ain't got to pay for it.
Yep, it's a good business. Anybody got any questions?
Certain times of the year, kind of like they're going to lock down and they're really familiar with one area. Do you have any issues with moving things around and kind of shying away from it?
Here a few weeks ago, that was in a long down. They just
Tape on his
got where
back.
they wasn't doing nothing. But these sets are really good during the
At least he didn't put a
season.
sign on it.
When they're really breeding and stuff.
Or at least he didn't do what I did to my bird. I put
Really
skunk
good.
essence in his backpack one day.
January, February.
You catch more males?
Not really. About 50-50.
Don't do that.
What time we got?
We're at 47 minutes, 25 seconds.
Okay. Anybody got any?
When did they have their pup?
About right now, April, May. I caught several a few weeks ago. They was already heavy with pups. Anybody got any questions?
So with your live market rig, how do you feel about chains, shock springs? You like them short? You like them long?
Yeah, just like I got it. I got a shock spring on it. It does work because I've seen them when they're pulling on it. You see that. I like a shock spring. It works. I like a short chain. Keep them. That's just my theory on it. If you got a short chain and you got them close to the ground, they can't run and hit and tear their feet. Yeah, keep them close to as close to the ground as you can keep them.
But you don't like to do like the crazy short chains where it's like 3 lengths of chain and a swivel, right?
Yeah, but mine's a little bit longer than that. It's probably a foot.
So just about out the box and
out of the box, and I'll add swivels and the shock springs to it.
You find any swivels work better than another one?
I like the crunch proof.
Like crunch proofs?
Yeah. That's just me. The MB crunch proof. Because the other ones.
The Sterlings, you're talking about the little nail ones, or?
No, the Minnesota brand.
Oh, okay.
The crunch proof. Because I've tried those other ones, and when they bite it, it won't swivel. I mean, they'll crunch it. They'll crunch it. But these MB, these thick swivels, they won't crunch them.
So you're talking about polishing your jaws earlier with the sandpaper.
Yeah,
you do that right out the box when you get them, or that's just only on
dip them. Or when I set and I make a catch, I'll keep them jaws slick, clean. It's a whole lot better on their feet.
And you're saying you get a lot of damage in the sand because of that, right?
Well, or a lot of times they may get blood on them or something in the sand, and all that builds up on that jaw. You want to keep them jaws clean.
So any type of real gritty dirt, you like to watch it.
Keep them clean. That rough will tear his feet up. So you don't want to do it. You want to keep your jaws, no matter what trap you're using. I never have used this. I've never been no big fan of the soft catch. You know, if you use them, that's fine. But when I'm trapping, I want to trap. You know, I don't. You catch a coon, he chews the pads off, and then you got to take time and go replace them pads. When I'm trapping, I want to trap. I don't want to have to work on traps all the time. You know, I like to dip them, dry them, let them dry. I like to trap. I don't want to be working on traps. But if you use a soft catch, you know that's you know, I'm not pushing nothing. I'm just showing you some sets that I use that I use. And I'll show you one more. And it's just a plain old dirt hole. Let me see that set there. Right here. I'll keep enough there for that stuff. What I'll do, a lot of times I'll go dig up just a clump of dirt. Just go dig up some dirt. You can't find a place to make it. Like that right there. Dig it up. Just dig up you some dirt, bring it over to your spot. See that hole punch. You could use your hole punch, and it's just a plain dirt hole, or you can use your drill on it and drill it out. Make it back in a little bit. I don't want to work on it. This ground is so packed it's tough. Okay, just a plain old standard dirt hole, which everybody knows what those are. And on mine, that's just an old dirt hole. But on mine, I put my lure right there. I'll take that hole punch, I'll put it right there inside that lip of that hole. If I'm making a dirt hole. Right inside there. I put my urine up here on top. Right here on top. And I put my bait, you know, of course, in the hole. And then I'll take I got some sheep's wool and I'll put over that. Throw a wad of sheep's wool in there. But your lure goes right there inside the lip of that hole. Bait goes in the back. Urine up here. Handful of sheep wool in it. Just a
That's a good remake set.
Huh?
That's a good remake set.
That's what I do a lot. If I catch one with that grass right here, I'll come back and I'll just pull up all that stuff and pile it up around there. And
So you use sheep wool. I got a standard poodle. If I trim him and keep that hair, would that work?
hey man, you can try it. I don't.
It probably
Get
would.
back with it.
I mean, that's a steady supply right there.
Yeah, I
I mean,
White.
I don't think Kyle's like dogs, man. He might go in there trying to find them.
He's got his is white and apricot, so that would probably work. Mine's jet black, so I don't know.
I mean, I put out dog turds just to see, and
Right?
they seem to go out. I don't know.
The spray from the.
That blue cut stuff.
Well, it works good too, but this here is in a spray bottle. It's called Cut and Heal. You can get it at the feed store, farm supply, and you just squirt it on their feet if they got a nick or a cut, and use that with this stuff here.
About how much you looking at for all three of them usually?
This here is about $32. I think this is about 28, and I think this has went up to about 60.
The decks.
The decks, but it goes a long way. The last I bought, it was
It's got
about
to be
60.
the board in.
But it goes a long way, like at Remake. It time's up.
Getting there.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I
Yeah,
had just
he told me,
delete
he
some
said my
stuff.
time's up.
You still got a list of questions.
I'll sit here all day and ask questions. Y'all just tell me when
He-
to stop.
he asked-
I have
yeah,
a
the
slight
cut
problem
and
with
heal, it
asking
works good.
questions.
Any question? They said my time's up, so any questions?
Only about 30 more. I mean,
Yeah, I don't have the time, but,
I'm playing.
I will tell you,
pull him to the
this is my grandson Aiden,
Man, I-
and this is Ty, his best friend. These boys are our future right here. If we don't teach them, it's going to be a lost sport. And they both like to trap. They making pretty good trappers. Ty's daddy, he's a trapper. He coyote traps. And Aiden, he goes with me every chance he gets. So they're learning, but it's all about these fellers here, bringing them up to me, teaching them. Because when I grew up back in the late 70s and 80s, and I started coon trapping and stuff, the old timers around my house, they would not tell you nothing. They would not help you. They would not tell you nothing. So things has come a long way. So we need to pass it on down and teach these young ones how to trap. It's they're our generation. Because we'll be gone one day, and they'll have to pass it on. Well, folks, that's it, I guess. I've enjoyed it with y'all.
Thank you, buddy.
And, if y'all have any questions, just
Very educational.
come over and get with me, and I'll try to help you what I can.